name is Mrs. Larson, and I will be your child's math teacher this year. This is my open house presentation. First, I would like to talk about learning philosophy. I believe that learning is a dynamic process. It involves the interactions between the following. First, interaction is traditional. This is where student and teacher interacting, whether it's in a big group or on the side, just student and teacher. But this is where students are gaining information from the teacher, whether in a lesson or teacher is asking clarifying questions, student is asking questions to the teacher. Then two, the interaction between student and math prompt. So this is where the student is engaged in problem solving alone with the math. And then there's teacher and math prompt. This is where the teacher is engaged in planning rich activities for students, rich problems for students to do, assessing knowledge, determining how to do that best. So this is where the teacher is engaged with the math on the side after class. Then the fourth is student and student interactions. I try to have these student-to-student interactions regularly. Students need to communicate math and be able to communicate their thinking to others. So this is a way that they can practice doing that. Learning often involves struggle and discovery. It's important that students are making mistakes. That way they can engage in correction. If a student exposes herself, himself, theirself to uncertainty by making honest attempts at math problems, by trying new ideas, I am certain the student will learn and grow. Learning is not always easy. At times it can be frustrating and downright unattainable, but in the end, if you don't give up, you will eventually find success. I hope you might even find it fun along the way. No matter what math course a student is in, the student will be required to develop the following math standards. And these math standards are more general. They're mathematical practices. So what are students being asked to do with the math that they're presented with, right? 1 through 8, make sense of problem solving and persevere in solving them. This is where students are staying engaged, building stamina for problem solving. 2 is reason abstractly and quantitatively. So they're using the math language to represent the math. 3, construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. So this is done student to student, student to teacher. They're building logical arguments to reason through their claims and make it presentable and convincing. Model with math. Can they graph, write an equation, build a table from a certain scenario or a real life problem? 5, use appropriate tools strategically. Can they use, for example, a calculator to speed up a process that they might already know how to do, rather than use the calculator to eliminate thinking? Attend to precision. Number 6 is where they are attending to exactness. So this is like the opposite of estimating, being precise. Look for and make sense of structure. That's number 7. So they're able to understand expressions and make sense of its structure with math symbols, variables. Number 8 is look for and express regularity in repeated reasoning. So understanding the pattern and maybe building a rule for that pattern is number 8. So all of these kinds of things I'm thinking about when I'm with the math on my own planning. Are students allowed to be open to these kinds of practices based on what they're being asked to do in class and outside of class? A little progress each day adds up to big results. So these are my work expectations. Best efforts always on assigned work is necessary for me to discover what students know and how they are thinking. Assigned work that is thoughtfully done will truly help, to guide my instruction and provide students with relevant checks for understanding. This allows the learning to cater to the individual needs of students. So I want honest feedback from students by responding thoughtfully and carefully to these assignments and always putting the best efforts every day. Help. What I tell students if they need help, do as much as you can, even if you are not certain you are on the right track. During the review of work assigned, you will understand the solution more if you have given it an honest attempt rather than no attempt at all. Use the hints and video links on Khan Academy to help you understand where you are falling short, and then try the activity until you get 100. So continue to redo to improve learning outcomes. There is no penalty for the number of times you can redo the Khan Academy assignments. Be curious. Be open to asking questions in class, to your peers, in your group, or with your partner. This takes courage, so it's really important that you are able to ask questions. Build questions that have detail. Be specific in your questioning. Asking questions is a very important skill to have, as it shows you are making connections with prior knowledge and evaluating your progress. Okay, and lastly, here are some important reminders. Class is a no-phone zone. The priority in class is to be present, engaged in the now, engaged in the learning. In-class curriculum will only be accessible via laptop. Phones should be tucked away out of sight. Google Classroom houses daily agendas and resources. This is very helpful when you're absent or when you're curious to know what's going to happen the next period, or maybe trying to remember what you did earlier that day or the day before. In the past, tutoring has been available after school and or before school. Once this is known, I will send a reminder on Jupyter. Remember, your student needs to have their laptop charged nightly. If you need, or if you're a student, or if your child needs to charge their laptop in the middle of the day, feel free to come by my room and leave your computer to charge. I am happy to charge laptops during the period they're not using it, or during lunch or nutrition. To avoid lowered citizenship due to attendance, clear lates with me at lunch on the designated days and absences during Saturday school. So lates can only be cleared with me, so they need to plan it out, let me know when they plan on coming for lunch, and I can clear the tardy as if they were never tardy. I'll just send an email and it's a done deal after that. See the syllabus posted online in Google Classroom for details. There is the syllabus attached and linked through Google Classroom. So if you have any questions related to expectations, that's a great place to look. And then consider having your student keep a calendar for staying organized. And then if ever you need to contact me to either try to meet or communicate, the quickest way is through Jupyter. I check my email about once a day, and Jupyter is constant during the day and even in the evening. So that's probably the best way to contact me. Okay, and that's it. Thank you.